They're always talking about, okay, so apply for the Erasmus scholarship, apply for a scholarship, study abroad is great. And yes, it is great. I'm not going to deny it. It has been an amazing experience. But are you really considering or thinking about what you'll be doing after your program? What is the plan? What is the plan? Is the plan planning? In today's video, I'm going to be telling you what options you have to explore after your Erasmus program. So stick and stay with me. I'll be right back. Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Dorothy Mawina Boachi. I am an Erasmus Mundus scholar. I just completed December 2023, and I'm really excited that I really got the opportunity to study here, explore the world whilst I was studying. Because of course you already know, but if you do not know, the Erasmus Mundus scholarship allows you to study in more than 2 European Union countries. So for me, I studied in Portugal, Greece and Italy. Amazing. In today's video, as the intro has already sort of given you a hint on, I'm going to be talking to you about options that you can explore after your Erasmus scholarship, after you've studied, you've completed your program. But of course, not for only Erasmus Mundus scholars, but also all international students in every part of the world. I'm going to be speaking with what I know for Europe. So let's go straight into the video. But before we do, if you have not subscribed to the channel, my darling, my dear, why haven't you done that? Why haven't you done that? Have you not enjoyed my videos? When I see that you guys are subscribing, it gives me this inner peace, inner joy. It makes me want to do more videos for you. Thank you if you have already, but if you haven't, thank you too for at least watching the video. But I'm going to entreat you to please do the subscribing today. I'll wait. Stay here. One of those, please. Straight into the video because we cannot wait all day, but I know you have subscribed. Thank you. So my first option that I'll be talking about today, and let me look at my notes just a tad bit. Yeah, you can go home. I'm serious. Going home is number 1 on the list. Why is going home number 1 on the list? Well, to continue to stay in Europe without a scholarship, I would say it's very challenging. It is the most difficult thing to ever do. It's like hanging over a cliff that you're going to fall eventually, because if you cannot pay rent, if you cannot afford food, if you cannot pay your telephone bills, you can't make calls, you can't pay your rent, where would you be staying? Yeah, nowhere to stay. So if you do not have a proper stay plan, best thing is to just go home. In some cases, if you don't have any savings, even if you do have savings, it will finish if you don't have a job. So number 1, go
back home. Your family members have missed you. They want to hug you. They want to love on you. They want to give you many kisses on your face. And they want to hug you because you have been away for too long. And it was hard for them to say goodbye. So, first point, just go home.
My second point is find a job. Yeah, you need to find a job. I already said in my first point, and you already know, you need to find a job to be able to pay your bills. Nobody's friend here. If you don't have family out here and you are in a foreign land, nobody cares about you, actually. And it's the truth. If you don't pay your rent, you are out here. If you're not paying your phone bills, you cannot even make calls. You can't buy food. You're going to starve. So you have to find a job. Now, to find a job, you need to have good documentation. Your documents must be working. If you do not have good documents, if your documents are going to expire, if you don't have a working permit, or the documents you have, maybe resident permits, maybe visas, maybe tax numbers, maybe social security numbers. If you do not have all of that, you cannot work. So if you're going to find a job, you have to consider working on your documentation. Make sure you have the right documents: social security numbers, your tax identification numbers, your residence permits. If you need to renew them, you must renew them. In some countries, to renew your cards, you need to have certain amounts of money in your bank account. The next point is do further studies. So usually people who go through the master's route to leave out the country, anywhere in the world, coming from anywhere in the world, going to anywhere in the world. If you're really passionate about academia, the next option that I would say is viable is to do further studies. So you can either do a second master's, maybe in a different field. Your Erasmus program may have opened you to new fields that you find very, very interesting, and so you want to explore only that in a master's, second master's. That is a wonderful idea. You can also do that. You can also proceed to a doctoral degree, maybe to do a PhD. If, and I'm saying the caveat is, if you are interested in academia and research, you can do that. You can go into further studies. That is mostly the route a lot of people go through. But I know that all those people who do that have interest in academia. So if you're not really interested in academia and you're not finding a job, and you also don't want to go home, the next thing you can do is to engage in trainings. So here in Portugal, I would say that there are lots of avenues for the citizens and people who have residence there to engage in certain trainings. So we have the Formação, or Center for Training. And what they do is, of course, you have to register with the job center first and then ask that you want to join a training. So you can be trained as a chef, you can be trained as a housekeeper, you can be trained as a beautician. There's a lot of things you can be trained. And in those trainings, when you're done, it's like technical school, more or less. It's like technical school. So you can learn that and get a certificate, and that can help you enter into the job market. There's also training for language support. And for example, in Portugal, and of course the city that I'm in Évora, we have the center, and one of the trainings that most people actually go for is the language course. So to help you find a job, you need to be able to speak the language. And so if you're doing a language course and you're very serious with it, you get to know the basics. Use humor, maybe how to greet people in Portuguese, maybe how to communicate, certain things that you cannot learn from the apps. You get to learn it in the Portuguese classroom, and it is part of the training. In those instances, when you are trained, it's easier to enter into the job market, because if you are being trained as a chef, you can easily, if you complete your program, of course, there are lots of hours that go into it. I think being a chef, training for a chef could be 250 hours. And then it's easier to just enter, because now when you find a job posting, you're okay, someone who has training in being a chef, culinary training, then you get the job. You can also enter into long-term volunteering. So with that, we have the European Solidarity Corps if you have residence in any of the EU countries, and of course I think Turkey and
some other countries, I'm not too sure.
But if you have residence in these countries, you can register to be an European Solidarity Corps volunteer. We have long-term volunteering projects. So long-term, maybe you can spend 12 months or even more volunteering for an organization, an NGO, for one of their projects. And what I like about this is that if you are selected to volunteer for one of the projects, they're going to give you accommodation, they're going to feed you, and they're just going to give you something small as pocket money. The last time I checked, I think the allowance for food is 150 euros, and allowance for pocket money just to hold on to is 150. So let's say they are going to be giving 300 euros every month, and they're going to give you a place to stay. But you're going to be busy. You're not going to be thinking about your worries and sorrows and all of that. At least that can hold you down for some time. There are some short-term projects, maybe 2 weeks, but there are also long ones, maybe from 6 months to 12 months to even 2 years. I just wanted to tell you some of the options that I have looked at, and I can say they are viable, except for finding the job, because it's very difficult to do that in a place where you cannot speak the language. But yeah, that's all I have for you today in today's video. Thank you so much for watching the video up to this point. I'm really proud of you for doing that, and I'm going to be even prouder if you subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. We are at 700, and I would like us to go to 1K at least. Let me celebrate 1K by June. Am I reaching? Is it too much? Is it too much to ask? I know you can do it. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.